called Allah Yahweh Bashim Al-Shai, Bashim Kakradash, double honors to the elders and apostle, great master of well. I am not a member, however, I've entered into their labors. Peace and mercy to the sincere brothers and sisters doing this wherever you are, whatever your lot may be. Another quick one. I mentioned in the midweek news update I did the other day about the mass production of these CHIPs here. So we're gonna just kind of delve into. I know that the subject has been thoroughly talked about, but you cannot just as much as you can never speak too much about Yahweh Shai, you can never speak too much about one of the last and one of the most important prophecies to come about, and we are marching towards it, as you can see. All right, so you have geopolitical uprisings, turmoil all around us, earthquakes, protests, wars, rumors of wars, escalation of different types of events, an unstable economy, unstable everything. Everything is just, it's doing what it's supposed to do, basically. I don't really know how else to put it. It is exactly as it is prophesied in the scripture. And because of that, we know we need not to, fear. All right, because there's still a couple of more things to come. And in between time, Yahweh Shai threw up that prayer for us. I pray for them, I pray not for the world. So we'll get that, and we'll get obviously the obvious, right? Revelation 13 and 16 is the point, but here in 15 is the giving life unto the image of the beast here. All right, and that is what you have with these, I don't even want to say the advent of AI. I will say the progression, right, of AI, and the end result on the left hand side is merging man with machine. Okay, so you will have, just like we have, on the right hand side, we have direct access to Yahweh Shai simply through prayer, simply through leading a proper life, diet, and in the physical diet, and in the spiritual, a diet of getting rid of unprofitable behaviors and unprofitable thoughts, and pretty much lining our life up in a way that the Lord sees fit for us, for his future kings and priests. And your direct link is that prayer, your obedience and your prayers, and that your prayers align with his will. Now on this side, on the left hand side, you have, if you bend the knee, if you accept this thing, you are saying that this current ruler of the world is your God. And not only that, he has direct access to you, and you have direct access to him, but in different ways. His access is complete and total control, while yours is convenience. Something you think is going to work in your favor. Something you think is going to be of beneficial means to you. My dog want to start snoring as soon as I get in here. As soon as I try to do the video. Hey, hush or get out. Anyway, so we'll read here 15. And he had power to give life unto the image of the beast, that the image of the beast should both speak and cause that as many as would not worship the image of the beast to be killed. Now, for us here, it doesn't always mean physical. There will be martyrs, but there is also being cut out from society, right? Not being able, if you think about it, everything, especially now, everything costs money. And not only does it cost money, but the forms of payment are changing. And ultimately, that form of payment will change, right, by the implementation and the implantation of the old injectable for the detectable, right? It will be a NFC and an RFID. NFC is needed that is what's in your cards. That is how you tap a card and information is exchanged, not by RFID, by NFC. Near Field Communication is a protocol that allows the transfer of information touchless, I guess, or not even without sticking your card in. Okay, and then RFID is the radio frequency, right? So we don't really want to get too scientific. That isn't the point of this here. You can do that on your own if you want to go down the rabbit hole, if you so choose. Okay. Dang it. All right, verse 16. And he causeth all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive in their, right, or in their. Now, just because, let me finish reading here with 17. And there no man might buy or sell save he that have, or the name of the, or the number of his name. All right, here is wisdom. Let him that hath understanding count the number of the beast, for it is the number of man, and his number is 666. Right, we always talk about those sixes, always. Right. So you see, he's ordered, he plans on a high volume implant production, right? And it is this year, and I would not be surprised if they created a need for people to want them. Now, so at first it'll be a fun thing, and you'll have your celebrities because they are, these devils are outdated, and they're so rich that they don't even know how to be in touch with the common man, which is why there are these psyops and these FALSE, they're sloppy. So they will try to make the celebrities make it popular. That won't stick, right? Or maybe it'll be cool and affordable, and just like a Apple Watch, or a better way to track your fitness, track your sleep, right? You want to be healthy, you want to be this. That's this is in line with the Maha, whatever the fuck he was talking about. Okay, and then people will be like, yeah, I don't know about that, right? And then it'll it'll have its natural progression. Then there will be incentives. What these incentives are, I don't know, but it'll be stupid, like free donuts, or eighth, right? Or you can get a half ounce of the devil's lettuce from your nearest dispensary if you go ahead and sign up for this here. And then furthermore, it will dwell down to do it or lay down, right? That's gonna be the end goal there. Just as we saw in 2019, 2020 with the whole race for the cure, right? Same concept. The old dog cannot be taught new tricks. This is probably gonna make me sign in. All right, let's see what we got here. No. He wants to automate surgical procedures, so robots turning you into a robot, basically. Alright, he's planning to ramp up production. Start high volume production of the BCI, so that's what we're gonna say from here on out. BCI this year. Right, it was 10 years ago almost, right? This has been a very slow moving yet quick moving process that we got going here. Developing technology enables people to control. Sorry. Will you stop? Hey, get out. Go. Out. There we go. Alright. I love them to death, but good grief. Anyway, okay, so we got this. I knew it was going to do that. Okay, initial focus on helping patients with severe neurological conditions such as Parkinson's, Alzheimer's, paralysis, or sight impairment to communicate and regain independence. And that is what is going to be the aim: convenience and help, and making things better, right? These left-handed miracles, right? Because Yahweh Shai made the blind see. He made the lame to walk, all right? I pray for them. Or you know what, we'll need that, and in we'll get a couple of the miracles as well. I pray not for the world. Yeah, John 17 and 9. Red letter. This is Yahweh Shai here speaking. Okay, and this is his prayer, the high priestly prayer, right? These words spake Yahushua and lifted up his eyes to heaven and said, Father, the hour is come, glorify thy Son, that thy Son also may glorify thee. Okay, that thou hast given his power over all flesh, that he should give the eternal life as many as thou that hast given him. And this is life eternal, that they might know thee, the only true power, in Hamashiach Yahushua, whom thou hast sent. Okay, I have glorified thee on earth, or on the earth, and have finished the work which thou hast gavest me to do. Right, so we simply, I mean, it's simple, but it's not easy. But we follow in the footsteps of Yahushua. Right, if he tread the snow, or he made a line in the sand and he walked it, you don't go to the left or to the right. You follow in his footsteps. Where he placed his foot is where you place yours. Or from the right foot to the left, right? And you do your best. And there is grace when you do your best to follow those tracks to the T. Right? That's what grace is for. Alright, now, Father, this is verse 5. And now, O Father, glorify thou me with thine own self, with the glory which I had with thee before the world was. I have manifested thy name unto the men which thou gavest me, and out of the world, thine, sorry, there we go, stop there, full stop. Okay, thine they were, and thou gavest them me, and they hath kept thy word. Now they have known that all things whatsoever thou hast given me are of thee. For I have given unto them the words which thou gavest me, and they have received them. Okay, and that is going to mark who the elect are in this day and age. If you can receive these words, if you can, you know, especially when something is bitter, you eat the whole roll, right? It was sweet in your mouth, but it was bitter when it hit your belly. And if you can make it past that bitterness, right, and you can accept this, then, you know, that's a good chance. That's a good sign there, right? I have known surely that I came out from thee, and they have believed that thou didst send me. Cool. Wait, that's tough. Here's the point here. I pray for them. I pray not for the world, but for them which thou hast given me, for they are thine. All mine are thine, and thine are mine, and I am glorified in them. All right. So that is a heavy thing that we read, and that is something you should dwell on. That is something you should meditate on. He prayed for us. He did what he had to do. He prayed for us. Yahushua was perfect in every single way. He executed his job, or his duty, or his task, whichever way you want, or tasks with an S, perfectly. And then to top it off, threw up a prayer to make sure that, you know, those true believers in this day behind enemy lines would be kept, would be protected. Well, it don't get no colder than that. It don't get no colder than that. Let's see, and let's do, I hate saying that, but miracles, that name. So we'll do them in order, okay? Water into wine, healing, exorcism, nature, miracles, calming the sea, feeding thousands, walking on water, and resurrections, okay? Bringing Lazarus back to life, right? But who was the lame man that walked? No. Healing a man born blind, right? So John 9, you can go to these things on your own, right? Raising Lazarus from the dead, right? Healing Bartimaeus, the blind, right? So making the blind to see, making the lame to walk. And then the scriptures even tell you that the miracles, all the miracles that he did could not be contained. Could. What is it? John 21 and 25, right? So we'll go there real quick. Not 5, 25. Okay. Alright. Do you want to go up a little bit? Okay, Yahushua said unto him, if thou wilt tarry till I come, what is that to thee? Follow thou me. Alright. Then went this saying abroad among the brethren that the disciples should not die. Okay, yeah, I'll show the, okay, yeah, okay. So here, yeah, we'll go straight to 25. All right, and there were also many other things which Yahushua did, that the which, if they should be written, every one, I suppose, that even the world itself could not contain the book that should be written. All right, and all of that knowledge will be revealed in due time. But in the meantime, everything you need to keep yourself in line and to pass this open book test, you have it. All right. So we'll go back here. Let me see what this got. What this is. Oh, that's okay. This is these videos. We did that one. I want to see if. Well, let's read the AI overview real quick. Okay. We could have just did that instead of going to these articles that make you pay. Alright, high volume production, shifting nearly fully automated surgical procedure, moving beyond early critical trials for paralyzed patients to scale up the technology for wider use. Alright, I wonder why. I wonder why they want to scale it up for wider use. Potentially making them affordable, like, shit, ain't that what I said? Like, affordable like smartwatches. Okay, then of course they're not going to be overly expensive. They will probably be expensive for just to build up the allure. All right, but we know what the end goal is. We got the scriptures. We understand. This move aims to accelerate the deployment of devices that allow thought-controlled interaction with computers, with initial patients already using them to play games and browse the internet. Could you imagine, especially the level of I mean, people are cooked. The average person is cooked. I could only imagine the trivial things that would be done, and I bet of course there are drawbacks. I'm wondering if you got to charge this thing. I wonder like what is their power source with this? Does it feed up? Who knows? Who knows? I'm no neuroscientist, and I ain't nothing like that. I'm just whoo. Anyway, so they got an automated surgery here, patent progress, first human trials 2024. I remember seeing videos and doing videos about this, and there's your parameter of measuring of time. Okay, discerning the times, controlling digital devices with their thoughts, controlling cursors, and browsing online. Future goals: the ultimate aim is to restore function like vision, speech, motor control, potentially making affordable as an Apple Watch. All right, so you see left miracles on the left hand side, just like Yahushua. They want to be. I will ascend above the clouds. I will be like the Most High. Where is that at? I feel like I should know. Malachi, Isaiah 14 and 14. I will ascend above the clouds, above the heights of the clouds. I will be like the Most High, yet thou shalt be brought down to hell, to the sides of the pit. And that is where they will be. This whole enterprise is destined for failure. No ifs, ands, or buts. Okay? So we'll scroll up a little bit here. At verse 13, for thou hast said in thine heart, I will ascend into heaven, I will exalt my throne above the stars of Yahweh. I will sit also upon the mount of the congregation to the sides of the north. Right now you have 14 and 14. Alright, to be ascending above the clouds. Right? They want that. They want that left-handed blessing. They want to be able to say that they are God or God's lowercase g. So we don't need any more of this here. So interesting thing here, what came to me is how the brain resembles a motherboard, and what houses the power unit to a motherboard is a CPU, right? A central processing unit. Often people who don't know technology will call the actual tower of the computer where everything is housed a CPU. The CPU is a small chip, small square on the motherboard, and it is your central processing unit. That is the CPU. Okay, so show me more. How long is this? Okay, so we'll go ahead.
Imagine your computer as a busy city. Every building, road, and This cell acts like a chocolate clock. The mother brain contains the virus and language. The code says the mother wants to break some intelligence. It runs before you realize the system numbers and reports when you're due to start. It checks that all hardware is working properly and allows you to do things like moving horses along.
The rest of that doesn't mean, oh, 144 call, hello, how about you outside? That's what we wanted. That's something really quick. Okay, now we'll go ahead and read this here. Through its complex networks of interconnected components, neurons are your processors that transmit electrical signals, data across pathways, circuits to process information. And let's get an image. Is there a picture of it? Nah, we don't need that. Give me an image. You see that? These little probes here, alright, how they connect. And I'm guessing they're just gonna splice those. Come on, man, give me. That looks terrifying. Goodness gracious, that looks terrifying. We don't need no 30-minute damn video. Okay. But you see these little, you see those little wires, those little probes there? That's going to pretty much be your connection to your neurons there. That's how it's going to hijack essentially the electrical, or what would be data, the electrical signals that we already have. And that is also what they said was like disconnecting while in the brain. It was like tearing apart in the brain or something like that. Freaky sci-fi, which is no longer fake. It was some freaky-ish, boy. It is some freaky stuff. But you see how brains, or how the computer was modeled after the human brain, right? It was modeled after the complete and perfect prototype, which is the brain, right? And that's what these devils do. They all they do is copy what already is, all right? When the Lord said it is good, they said it is not. And you see how they getting down. They really trying to get down. I couldn't imagine. Good God, I could not imagine. Of course it can. Nah, we don't need to say no, just like the dare in school. Say no to drugs, say no to this shit. Okay. A year of telepathy. What we got here? Okay. A wireless brain, BCI. Restore autonomy. Yeah. So same thing. Okay. Users operate their phones and computers with just their thoughts. And you know the crazy thing is you can think about something and it pops up on like while you're scrolling through social media. It's really weird, and I wonder what is in the food that we eat, or in the air we breathe, all kind of nano things that interface already. Maybe there's some trial that we don't, that we won't know about unless this place is allowed to continue 75 years from now. And somebody's talking about, did you know in 2026 they were putting this XYZ in our food and our vegetables, and they were interfacing with the technology via NFC or whatever. I don't know. It could be anything, man. We got to get the hell up out of here. And that is really the sum of the video. We just need to get the hell up out of here. Alright, so we kind of covered what we needed to cover. Maybe we can get an AI mode. Let's get the AI overview. Okay, while human brain and computer motherboard differ in their biological and mechanical foundations, no shit, they share several functional and structural parallels. So communication networks, are intricate pathways called traces, okay? And then what you use on your brain, 86 billion neurons connected by axons and dendrites. We've gone over that in older videos, forming vast circuits that transmit electrical impulses, and those impulses carry the data, or what would be used to carry data, right? Talking about a motherboard. All right, central control hub. Motherboard houses the CPU, or central processing unit, often called the computer's brain, which processes instructions in the human body. All right, the brain serves as the primary control center, processing sensory information and generating behavior responses. Okay, parallel processing. You can do multiple things, do multiple tasks at once. Okay, voltage-based signaling. Both use electrical voltage to represent and distribute information. All right. Memory integration. The motherboard connects RAM, that's your short-term memory, okay, random access memory, and hard drives, long-term storage. So you go to those big external drives if you have one for uh, um, your PlayStation to house games that cannot be housed immediately on the system. Okay, so all you have that, or you can have a. Never mind. Let's just keep going. Okay, and then power management. Just as the motherboard distributes power from a supply unit to various chips, the brain manages its own energy intake, proving remarkably efficient, using only about as much power as a modern microprocessor, despite immense complexity. All right, and that's what I said. You know, the Lord created this and said it is good, and they go and do something that isn't. And that is from this complex device to something as simple as destroying fruit. And what is the result of it? It has lost most of its nutrients, and it is full of chemicals, and it is full of Lord knows what. Okay, but I think now we can say the point here has been made. I just wanted to grab a couple of things on this and see what we can pull. But as you can see, man, you need to stay prayed up. Repent, 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 and be focused on pleasing Yahweh Bashem Yahushai. So you know when you do send up your prayers, you can be heard. All right, we are dangerously close to one of the final few prophecies that we need. It's this and the third woe to be visibly live. All right. So with that being said, I truly pray that you are edified. I pray mercy upon you and your household, and that you are able to withstand the wiles of the devil and everything that comes with it. Okay. There's going to be a lot that goes on in this coming, in the next few months. So, shalom.